cell phone says it's 8 a.m., so we'll start our meeting. And we'll call it to order, and we'll do a roll call. Paul Buning. Here. BJ Debbie. Here. Ken Austin. Bob Buchan. Here. Krista Ott. Here. And Richard Wirtz is here. So we have a quorum, and we'll get our meeting started. Need an approval of the minutes of the October 13th meeting.
Move to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. First point of old business, the Shell building update. Krista?
So we had sent you an email. We have some virtual open houses with Cushman and Wakefield scheduled for November 19th and 20th. So those are going to be done virtually through a Zoom meeting where we are going to, the mayor and Dana and I are going to meet with other brokers from different brokerage firms and just give them an overview and do the virtual tour and just hopefully get the word out there just about the availability and a little bit about Franklin. And so this was discussed at your last meeting, and so anybody that attends those will receive a $25 stipend for doing that, and then they'll be entered in to the drawing for I think it's a $250 gift card or something like that, that Fritz and Don are putting that together. So just wanted to give you an update on that was scheduled and moving forward.
Okay, thank you. In addition, we do have a purchase agreement with that we have approved and sent, and
well, no, we haven't sent it. We need to go through it today and get your approval to send it.
do they have that?
They don't have it in the audience.
The RDC members should have a copy of the counteroffer number 1. And just for the public, basically, it is 13 plus 1 acres in the list price, okay? And it's listed at $3,175,000 with an escrow of $50,000. And we have a possible serious interest in that building. So we'll need a motion to approve this to go forward to Cushman and Wakefield so they can get into the negotiations.
What exactly do you want that you?
We're going to need a motion to accept and present this to Cushman and Wakefield. Is that right, Kristen? We need an approval from the RDC.
We wanted to get your approval before the counter offer was submitted. So their original offer was a lower price, and they were asking for a reduction in the acreage down to 10 acres, but due to some recent developments to property to the east, that would just leave us a 3-acre parcel that we couldn't do anything with. So we wanted to counter offer with a full 13 acres and then the purchase price of $3,175,000. So that would give them some savings on the interest payments and then the cost of the right-of-way deduction that we've offered to others. That the majority of the cost of what we have in it would be covered. And then we would also have to negotiate the sales commission.
I thought we had the commission covered in the list.
So that, what I meant is that would be whether that's included in the purchase price or not. And I think that the way they have this written, the sales commission is included in the purchase price. We have the we have the terms with the percentage and all that has been, that's all completed, 6%, that's not changing, it's just a matter of.
The commission is in this sales price.
It is, yes.
Is this purchase offer attached?
It's not.
It was emailed separately, but it's
Yeah.
confidential, and we can't divulge names at this point.
Okay, so you say I got one?
You got it from
Should have
Krista.
it in the email.
Should be something like this.
I have a copy if you want to.
You want to glance at it?
Yeah, I do.
It's a one-page counteroffer with the price and the terms and the escrow. And it's something that we do need to take action on as they're moving forward with this.
Okay. I'm just curious what they offered.
They offered 2.8 million,
Okay.
and then they offered, that they only wanted 10 acres instead of 13 acres.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Do we have input from Wakeman about that this is offered, taken? I mean, make this kind of,
Yes.
This is, we had a meeting, we discussed this with them, and this was their, kind of their middle ground recommendation for the counteroffer.
okay, that's what I want.
We did meet with Commissioner Wakefield and the mayor and Chris and Dana and myself. So I need approval to move forward so we can hopefully get this implemented and they can find a buyer for us.
Is there, amongst the folks you talked to, Cushman, et cetera, the mayor, and so forth, is there anyone who's against making this count?
No, everyone was in agreement, and there was a little bit of negotiation and talk, and the consensus is this is a fair and equitable. Again, there might be another counteroffer, but this is a good middle of the ground point with the additional 3 acres and the sensitivity of the players involved.
Are you looking for motion?
Yes.
Move to make the counter offers presented.
We have a motion, need a second.
Second.
Second by Paul. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries, and this will get presented, and we'll move forward. So now, we're moving to the declaratory resolution 2020-13, and I don't know, I've got a feeling, Krista, is this Mark or
Actually, I think Rob.
Rob?
Yep.
Okay, Rob?
Can you pull up the map, maybe?
Yeah.
So this is, we've been talking about this most of the year. You recall that in the spring, we passed the declaratory resolution that just dealt with some of this property, and then after that, through the course of the year, quite a bit more was annexed. So we're including what you see there on the right side on the map. There's 3 different sections that are being designated as TIF areas. The purple hatch on the top right is one area, and then to the left of that is an orange hatch, and that's also coming in. And then to the south of that is the 3rd section, and it's those red hatches marked. On that southern end, where Krista's pointer, Krista's got a pointer. That corner right there is being carved out to capture the expected expansion of, I keep saying interstate warehouse, but is it also Tiffin? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, they're the
Okay.
parent company, they're the developer company for interstate warehousing.
So there's an existing building just where our pointer is, and they're getting ready to expand it. So we've created this, or drafted the resolution to pick up any expansion of that building that occurs. So that's a bit unusual, but I just want to point that out. And then if you can think where Sunbeam's big spec building is on the south side of 44, that's Energizer. And we're also designating Energizer for purposes of capturing the incremental taxes on their personal property. So that's what the declaratory resolution does. It also includes the statutory findings that are required in order to create this TIF expansion. And if you approve this resolution today, well, let me say, first of all, that there's no public hearing today. The public hearing will occur at your special meeting on Friday, December 18th at 8 a.m. So if I could encourage you all to make sure you can make a good attempt to make that meeting. So again, that's a special meeting on Friday, December 18th at 8 a.m. Between now and then, if you approve this today, I'm going to take this resolution to the Planning Commission on Tuesday night and ask them to find that it is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan. And then I believe the following Monday is City Council to be presented to them, and then come back to you on the 18th. Also attached to your agenda is a timeline that has changed due to the Planning Commission meeting changing. You'll see that originally the timeline showed that we were going to meet tonight at the Planning Commission, but that's been bumped to next week. Otherwise, it will stay the same. And then finally, one of the requirements at your December 18th meeting will be for you to adopt a tax impact statement showing what the impact is going to be if we TIF these properties. And Jeff Peters, the city's financial advisor, has prepared these tax impact statements for each of the parcels, as well as the Energizer designation. And he'll be here on December 18th to walk us through the details of that. It's really just presented today for your information. Do you have any questions that I could try to answer?
This change of the planning commission doesn't have any effect though for our 18th, December 18th meeting. Okay. So you want to go through the resolution?
But we can if you'd like.
Okay.
If you'd rather just, yeah, that's fine, just do that. So there's several informational whereas clauses, as you can see, and then the meat and potatoes of it is that we're designating the properties that are attached on the exhibits, and they're designated by parcel number, and then the maps will go with them as well.
Any comments on the resolution 2020-13? This is replacing the 2020-08, which was adopted by the RDC.
If you would be ready for a motion to approve.
Okay.
If there aren't any questions.
If there's no questions, we'll need a motion to approve the resolution 2020-13.
So moved.
We have a motion, need a second.
Second.
Second by Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, moving on to resolution, that takes care of it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So, we have another resolution here.
We do, but I added the South Main Street Street and East
Oh,
Main
okay.
Street parking
I
lot.
look, better get my new one.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
Making
South
sure.
Main Street and East Wayne Street. Mayor?
Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be here today. It's nice weather outside and chipper. Yes, I guess I'm here today to ask the board to put an RFP together, give Rob the go-ahead to put an RFP together for the property at Main Street and East Wayne, South Main Street and East Wayne Street parking lot area. With all the activity we got going downtown, we've had a couple builders asking what we're going to do with that property, and we thought it would be a good opportunity just to put out an RFP and see what comes back. That doesn't mean we have to accept anything. If nothing comes back acceptable, it simply stays the way it is. I just think it's a good opportunity. We're running out of good opportunities in the downtown area to put RFPs out to see what we can do with it. So that's the request I have today.
And in order to do that, we will need to get some appraisals done. So we
Do we have to have three?
two.
Two.
Unless it's, if the first one comes back and shows us that we're at less than 5 acres and less than $10,000, we don't have to get the second one. And I don't know what a parking lot's worth, so we'll just have to see what the appraisers say. It's not really our cost involved, it's the fair market value. So, I think maybe the most efficient way to do this, if you agree to proceed, would be just to make a motion to authorize me and Krista and whomever to proceed, including getting appraisals of the properties. And then what happens next is we need to publish a notice that the property is for sale, and it has to be listed. The initial starting price has to be the average of the two appraisals. Then people have 30 days to respond to that request, and we can either take the highest bidder, the highest and best bidder, which would allow us to look at what their proposal is for the site. Or we could reject all bids, and 30 days after that, negotiate with whomever we pick for the project that we want. So I've been calling it a 60-day process. It might be 90, but it'll happen by spring. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I think I know the answer, Rob. Highest and best doesn't mean, well, first of all, we don't have to accept any, but the highest offer might not be the best offer, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
But I was thinking like today, just as an example of that, if somebody proposed to put a tanning bed there versus somebody who proposed to put a substantial investment of some sort, we would be able to make that determination.
That's precisely why I asked.
Yes.
Okay, could I get a motion to allow Rob and Krista to move forward with an RFP of 2 appraisals?
So moved.
So moved. BJ, a second?
Second.
Second by Paul. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, Rob, if you and Chris will get that started and get the advertisement out. We have another piece of business, the resolution 2020-13, 7,500 for the Arvin Commercial Right-of-Way Project.
This one's Mark.
Mark?
Yes, sir. We had given you the estimates for right-of-way acquisition for this project. I think earlier this year, correct me if I'm wrong, Krista, was the total amount that we had estimated, was it 25,000? I think originally it was 40,000.
Approved at 40 last year, and then it wasn't encumbered, so we approved it earlier for 25.
Right, And that was based on information from Crossroad and the appraisers as far as what their estimate of the actual cost would be. They came in a little bit lower than, the appraisals came in a little higher than what was estimated, so we do need some additional appropriation to complete that right-of-way acquisition.
And this would require a public hearing.
Okay. We will open up for a public hearing on resolution 2020-13 for $7,500 additional for the Arbor and Commerce right-of-way proposal. Do we have any comments from the? Okay. The public meeting is closed, and up to the RDC. Do we need more discussion, or can we entertain a motion to approve the resolution 2020-13?
So I made an error on the agenda, and it should be 2020-14. Yeah.
The resolution is correct. Okay, can I get one of you to make a motion?
I'll move for approval of the resolution.
Bob makes a motion to approve the resolution 2020-14, a second.
Second.
Second by Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Moving into other business, the financial report. Krista?
Yeah, I believe last month I had a question that I was still trying to work through on the September financial report, so I went ahead and included those. As well as the October financial report, so just to kind of give you highlights of those. First of all, are there any questions on the September? I won't go through that since we have October's, but if there are any questions, I'm happy to talk through that with you. Let me bring up the October's then. One thing I did want to note on the October financials is that I think when we received in June our disbursements for the TIF districts, the allocation areas, we were short about $180,000 from what the estimates were. And I just wanted to let you know that the county did release some of those payments were made and they were released. So on your October statement, you'll see this line, the May 19 pay 20 property taxes late payments received. So that was an additional $118,000 that we did receive that normally would have been part of that first of the year disbursement. So I just wanted to highlight that. And then other than that, just the update to the expenditures that have been made to each resolution. And then looking at that, what our cash balance is minus our remaining appropriations. So if everything were spent by the end of the year, that would leave us with $2.3 million. Are there any questions on that one? So the same thing for the US 31 TIF districts. Those also had some late payments that were made, and so there was an additional line added for both the north allocation area and the south allocation area, so $15,983 additional payments received for the north allocation area, and then $97,859 for the south allocation area. So that bumps our total balance up for those combined. And then I went ahead and added a line item on here for the pickleball courts that were discussed, that those would not come out of the bond, that those would be paid for out of this fund. So approximately $100,000. We don't have a resolution approving that yet, but I just wanted that on here since that's what we were planning for. And then also, as you'll see on the next report, since we have to spend all of the bond funds, we have a couple of line items that will put us over the bond balance, which is what we want to do in order to get those fully expended, but those will have to be paid for somewhere, so I went ahead and put a line on this report that the balance from the 2019 RDA bond expenditures, and then as we progress and get invoices in and those funds get drawn on that account, then that balance will go onto this financial report. So just put that line in there as a reminder. But there is still a balance of 1.549 million after our bond payments have been made already this year for that. Both of those have been made this year. So that takes us to the next one, which is the 2019 TIP bond. And so I just updated that to show you the expenditures that have been made out of each of those contracts. So expenditures year to date, 1.6 million. We have an investment of 1.7 million, and then the remaining appropriations are the 8.8 million for all of those listed below. So that gives us the negative bond balance, so that 503,000 will need to come out of the regular US 31 TIF once all those funds are expended. And so that's why that's over appropriated, but that will still leave us with just over $1 million in the regular US 31 TIF districts. Any questions on those? I think in the beginning, I was showing you a monthly spreadsheet of all of the invoices for the 2019 bond. There are so many of those actually are set up on a separate spreadsheet, and those just feed into these numbers. I have a formula set up, so instead of showing you every invoice, you just have the remaining appropriation listed here. So if anybody ever wants to see the detail of those, I have it, and you're more than welcome to see them, but that would be pages of, of information. I don't know that that needs to be attached every time, so just know that we have that if you want to look at it ever. So next is the November cash flow analysis, and just a couple updates on there of things that were changed. Let me run through those real quick. Let this load here a minute. So we had budgeted for an open house for the Shell building in the third quarter. And since that wasn't done by the end of September, I removed that $2,500 and added it to the fourth quarter. We still haven't gotten an invoice from the Hurricane Arvin Eastview Roundabout from Duke for this $150,000 from 2018. So I removed that and put that into the fourth quarter cash flow. And then I added the $7,500 for Arvin and Commerce Roundabout, which you just approved.